everybody, welcome back to the Bat from the Box video, and it is finally here, ladies and gentlemen. We have finally got a release date for Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok's 3 Jokers. Now, of course, if you have no idea what this is going on about, back when Geoff Johns was writing Justice League and in the Darkseid Wars, we got this panel of Batman asking the Mobius chair who Joker really is, and the Mobius chair gave him the answer that there is 3 Jokers, and we saw all these different Jokers on the monitor in Batman's cave. Now, I have to say that I'm absolutely excited that this is finally coming out because 1, I've wanted to know the conclusion of that story for a very long time, but 2, because I'm tired of people using the 3 Jokers idea as just their explanation for everything. If you guys have been following me on this channel for a really long time, we know that the 3 Jokers has been something that was synonymous with Gotham, right? Everybody was like, they're doing the 3 Joker storyline, they're doing the 3 Joker storyline, which in actuality, Cameron Monaghan never got called Joker at all. We know it was hinted at, it looked like him, although that last one, I don't know what they were doing there. But you know what I mean, the first 2 were very Joker-y in my opinion, and a lot of people were saying, this is the 3 Jokers thing, so he is Joker, but then there's going to be a real Joker later, blah, 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 blah. So everybody for the longest time has went around thinking that there's 3 actual Jokers. In my opinion, I don't think there is 3 Jokers, and I don't think, because it would ruin the character, personally. If there was 3 different Jokers, I think it would ruin the character, meaning there's 2 other guys that are very Joker-y running around doing what the Joker would do. No, the Joker is amazing because of what he does, how crazy he is, how intelligent he is, how conniving he is. Like, that's what makes the Joker so great. And knowing that there would be 3 different ones that are kind of all the same would make the character kind of crap, in my opinion. My theory is that 3 Jokers is actually the personality. He has 3 different personalities, or because this story, Geoff Johns' story that he's about to make, is going to center around Batman, Barbara Gordon, and Jason Todd, that there are 3 different visions of the Joker. Each one of them has their own version. One of them might be brutal and disgusting. One might be, you know, his arch enemy. The other might be somebody that changed their life. You know, it's going to be very different. I think it's one physical person that is viewed 3 different ways, or it's one Joker with 3 different personalities. Anyways, though, we have finally got the 3 Jokers, and this is an article on Entertainment Weekly, and I kind of want to just go through it because they do talk a lot about just the comic book, and they don't reveal a lot because Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok have said that they don't want to reveal a lot about the book because they want people to be surprised about it. So, like, just look at this art, though. This is some of my favorite Joker style. I enjoy these kind of them. A lot of people try to go with the crazy, like, I'm gonna kill you kind of stuff, but I've always enjoyed this classic look. They have 3 different versions here, which I think is really awesome. But I have to say, this is always, like, my favorite. This color scheme, everything with this Joker right here, I think is the best. But you can see that they're not super different in style. The hair changes a little bit, but it's just very still Joker, and I think it's pretty cool. And then, the cool thing about this is we got some panels for the actual comic book here. Now, the cool thing about this, Jason Fabok does do a little part in this interview, and he talks about how he had the Killing Joke right next to his freaking drawing desk for 3 or 2 years. He had it right next to his table where he was doing all his work, and he was trying to mimic a lot of stuff that happened in Alan Moore's The Killing Joke. Now, I think that's pretty cool because they are trying to make this kind of in the same genre of that, like the same style and how the story flowed and the craziness that it meant. And I know a lot of people are asking 2 questions. When is this coming out? It's coming out June 17th, and it's going to be monthly. Jason Fabok has confirmed that this will be monthly, so one will come out in June, July, and August, which I think is really awesome because Geoff Johns, the last thing he did was Doomsday Clock, which was an amazing story, but it took way too long. It got delayed multiple times, and a lot of people were like, dude, this story is amazing, but it's just been delayed. A lot of people have been getting really impatient with 3 Jokers because that story has been over 2 years old now. People just want to know the conclusion of this, and we're finally going to get it. They didn't want to have any delays, so they were like, we're not going to release a release date for this until we're like 80% done with this book, and they are very close to finishing this book, so they released the date of June 17th. Now, the cool thing here is we do have the Batmobile. Looks like it's knocking over the Thomas Wayne freaking gravestone, which is pretty crazy here. And it looks like Batman is pretty messed up. Like, he's bleeding right here in this panel, and he's just like out of the Batmobile trying to make it to Wayne Manor. That looks pretty crazy. Then we have some more shots of some bats in these 3 panel structures. We have the suits, which I think look really iconic right here in their glass forms. Fabok said that he wanted to try to keep the cave very much like it was in The Killing Joke. He thought that there would be upgrades because, you know, it's just over time Batman would upgrade stuff. But he wanted to keep it very the same feel of Killing Joke, which I thought was really cool. So we see a lot of the classic stuff, you know, the Joker stuff, Riddler outfits. We got the dinosaur, the big 8-ball, just a bunch of cool things that any Batman fan would know and love. And then, of course, we have these cool just shots of... Sorry, sometimes I just get lost in the comic book panels because when I read a comic book, this is sidetracking from the actual story here, but when I read comic books, I kind of view them as a movie, like how they would play out in a movie. I don't know if you view them or read them the same way, but I'm like, oh man, these would be really cool shots in a movie, and I think this is just really awesome, showing the progression of Batman getting out of his suit, Alfred being there to cut off his suit, and, you know, kind of like start nursing his wounds. So I think this is pretty cool, and that's all the panels that they show there. But I think this is pretty awesome. So to get back on track here, here is something that Geoff Johns actually said about the book. It's going back to the beginning when Batman first encountered the Joker, but it's also The Killing Joke and Death in the Family that speak to this book and that we're building off emotionally. Barbara and Jason have gone through so much, as has Bruce, and it's really focused on healing, on scars and wounds, and what it does to somebody. If you suffer from some trauma, you don't just get over with it and move on with your life. It changes who you are. Sometimes it changes you for the better, sometimes it changes you for the worst. You can heal right and you can heal wrong. That's really what this book's about. Healing right, healing wrong, and surviving. So with those words from Geoff Johns, you can kind of see how this book would center around Barbara, Jason, and Bruce. Because the one healing could be Barbara, the one surviving could be Bruce, and the one that healed wrong could be Jason Todd. Because we know he came back violent. We came back as just somebody that wanted to make, you know, Batman pay, wanted to make the Joker pay for what he did. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of story we're going to get here and how the Joker has molded these 3 characters from the Bat family. Now, I know a lot of people are going to think, is this continuity? I know that's the biggest thing when it comes to comic books all the time. Is this continuity? Now, from my understanding, they are writing it as if it is continuity, but they are doing things that might keep it out of continuity, if that kind of makes sense. Basically, what's going to happen is the audience is going to determine if this is continuity or not. Because there are some times that DC will let people just, do whatever you want. You know, we're going to consider an Elseworld if it's bad, but if it's really good, we'll start molding those ideas into the universe of Batman. So, this is going to be kind of wait and see continuity, if that makes any sense. Because The Killing Joke, if you didn't know, was not going to be continuity. Nobody was thinking like, oh yeah, let's kill Barbara or let's paralyze her, and then, you know, that's going to be the story we want to tell. No, The Killing Joke was supposed to be a one-shot story, but it was so good and people loved it so much that they weaved it into the Batman, you know, universe, the Batman freaking main continuity storyline, and Barbara became Oracle after that, and she stayed in the wheelchair for a really long time. So I think Geoff Johns and Jason Fabok are taking the same approach here. They are going to tell the story they want to tell, and if the audience loves it, I think they'll weave it into the Batman universe. If the audience doesn't like it, or maybe it's just too crazy to fit into the Batman universe, then it'll stay as a one-shot, or, you know, as a Elseworld type of story. Although, you know what, realistically, or, you know, story-wise, this should be continuity because it's something that happened in the Justice League title, and so this should, you know, continue to happen in the story. But so much has changed recently in the DC universe. Like, this was before Rebirth. Rebirth changed some things. We just had Doomsday Clock, which is going to be changing some things. We have just, you know, Death Metal that's about to start happening. There's a lot that has happened since that storyline in DC Comics. So that's why they're kind of like, it might be continuity, it might not be. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad we're finally getting this story. I'm glad it has a release date, and I cannot wait for June 17th. Because the Joker, we're finally going to figure this out, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know how long that I've had to hear this 3 Joker storyline, and I'm just over it. Like, I want to hear it to where I can have facts and proofs and be like, no, there's not 3 Jokers, it's actually 3 personalities, or it's this and that, and blah, 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 blah. Because I'm tired of just everybody using that as their argument. Like, oh, there's 3 Jokers. And people are even using that in the DCEU at times. They're like, oh yeah, freaking Joaquin Phoenix can actually be one of the 3 Jokers. Leto can be another one. And blah. And I'm like, no, it's not how it works, people. Anyways, yeah, I can't wait for this book to come out. I'm super excited. Jeff Johns is one of my all-time favorite comic book writers. And I think the art's going to look Jason. I was going to say the art's going to look Jason. The art is going to look gorgeous by Jason Fabok. And I think this is just going to be awesome. I cannot wait to read this book. And yeah, I don't know. We'll definitely be talking about it on this upcoming Batman News Weekly podcast. You know, we'll go over it with me and my, me and my co-host Clay. But yeah, this is all the information that has dropped so far about 3 Jokers. So again, just to reiterate, comes out June 17th. Of this month. It will be monthly, so we'll get one in July and August as well. And then, as of right now, it may be continuity, it may not be. Those are the biggest questions people are going to be asking about this book. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. But I meant to ask you guys, what do you feel about this idea of 3 Jokers? Are you going to buy this book? Are you going to just wait until somebody does a video on it? Let me know. If you were ever going to buy a comic book, you should go out to your local comic shop and tell them, hey, I want this 3 Jokers book, and you should buy these, because this might be a super monumental story, so you want to get your hands on the copies here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, like I said just a couple seconds ago, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button as we continue to post things on this channel. And as always, I'm your host, Juice Wayne. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something about my daily dose of juice. See you guys next time.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done.